Whenever a new piece of media is announced that attaches itself to a previously established story, there is always one simple question: is this a story that needed to be told? The truth is, I don't have many positive or negative comments to make about the Rings of Power. There's only so much you can derive from a 1 minute teaser. Putting that aside, if I had to choose one word to best describe how I felt after watching it, it would be underwhelmed. I'll admit being a tad confused at seeing a Galadriel looking very different from Lord of the Rings, considering the fact that elves lived for thousands of years without having their appearance change. I understand that this is a different actress portraying the character, and that naturally there will be some differences. That being said, unless they were unable to cast Kate Blanchett for the role and apply a bit of makeup or de aging, I don't see this as a valid line of reasoning. I was also a bit surprised to see members of previously established homogenous groups, that being the elves and the dwarves, being portrayed by black actors, respectively. This naturally drums up a few questions that I have circulating in the old noggin. The first being, why are we contradicting the source material for the sake of racial representation? The characters in Lord of the Rings were never representing anyone living in our world today. There's nothing about Aragorn or Legolas that I can relate to solely based on their appearance alone. When we examine the source material and where Tolkien draws a lot of his inspiration for these different races, you'll find many of them are from Norse mythology. Naturally, this means you're going to see a lot of fair skinned individuals. In recent times, I often hear people complaining about racial representation in some of my favorite media. I'm not sure I understand why this is so important. Not only is this a juvenile way of looking at the world, it's very problematic. Conversations can get very awkward when you're more concerned with a skin color than with a character's motivations or personality. Long before I was born, a man stood up and said, "Judge me not by the color of my skin, but by the contents of my character." Much the same as with superheroes, other fantasy characters often represent something that's larger than life itself. It's preposterous to think that because a character in a piece of fiction shares the same skin tone as you, that you can relate to them in any way. So, what do I think of the Rings of Power Superfans video? Well, I think that the entire video is one big insult to anyone who loves Tolkien's work. What I see is a heavily edited, pandering piece of garbage wrapped up in the Amazon logo and shipped straight to the homepage of YouTube. When greeted by the superfans in this video, you immediately get the sense that they're actors. What they're saying feels scripted, as if it's being read off a teleprompter or a set of cue cards. Another thing that I found extremely distracting was the lack of speculation on the show itself. They spend as much or more time in the video talking about the diversity of color and how it makes them feel. The constant reframing of Tolkien's world as a focus on inclusion is touched upon merely to praise the casting decisions. There's so much emphasis put on something so small, and I'm supposed to believe that this will inspire new generations of fans simply because they see someone who looks like them. It completely misses the point of why we love the original characters in the first place. At around two-thirds into the video, this review of a teaser trailer turns into them talking about how much fun it was to attend an exclusive event catered by Amazon. These paid shills are unironically talking about how much fun it was to attend an event exclusively for them. Overall, I'd say that this discussion is laughably bad and it deserves all the dislikes it currently has at the making of this video. Of course, you can't see these without a certain Chrome extension allowing you to do so. It's not very hard to find, so if you want to see where the ratio stands today, you can do so and marvel at their failure. The dislikes were taken away so that everyone can enjoy videos online in a safe and inclusive environment. Just remember, we're all in this together.